Hey guys, welcome back to the Real Southern Garden. I am Sarah, and today I've got a fun video for you. This works whether you have been planting your flower beds and working on them for 30 years, or maybe you are starting from scratch. Either way, I've got a really cool little idea that's going to help you out. It's going to save you money, it's going to save you time. And it seems so simple, but I just think a lot of us don't think about it. So when I first started working on these flower beds, and I'm talking about basically the porch flower bed, so the very front of our house and then the side flower beds, I was using the colors of flowers that I just love to look at. So I grew up with my mom planting a lot of lilac pinks and lavender pinks, and as you can see, I wear a lot of that color. It is one of my favorite colors in flowers and in clothes and all of that good stuff. Now, I don't want my house pink or the inside of my house pink, but you know what I mean. It is one of my favorite colors. But I was planting these and I was noticing that I was not liking the way the flowers were looking in front of my house, and I couldn't quite put my finger on why. And it's just so simple, but it was clashing with the color of my brick. My brick is a warm toned brick. It is kind of like an orangey red. It's got a little bit of cool tones in it, but predominantly it's a warm toned brick. And when I was putting this color in front of it, it just sounds funny, but it kind of looked cheap. It was like making my house, it made my house look cheap. Maybe people are going for a cheap look. I don't know. I'm trying not to do that. But anyway, it really just, it didn't look right. And what I have learned through time is that I need to, at least for my flower beds that are like right in front of the house and on the side of the house, I need to have flowers that complement the color of my house. And it just makes a huge difference. So oranges and peaches and yellows look great. All of those different colors that I normally didn't pick. They used to not be my favorite flower colors. Now they are. At least in certain parts of my flower bed and my landscape. Now up on my cut flower hill, as I call it, where the big garden is, I plant all different colors of flowers and it doesn't matter. Even in my rose garden, I put whatever I want there. It's not right up against my house. But for areas that are right up against my house, I find that if I use those colors that really complement the color of my house, I'm much happier and it looks great. It ups the curb appeal, and I'm telling you, it's just a no-brainer. So what you're going to do is you're going to head down to your local Home Depot or Lowe's or your favorite paint store, wherever you would buy paint. And I encourage you to, when you do buy paint for a project, buy from those guys. I don't want all of America just going out and cleaning out all their paint cards. But anyway, you're going to go and grab some paint cards in different colors, like warm toned pinks, cool toned pinks, some warmer yellows, cooler yellows, some blues, some lavenders, just all the different colors. You're going to bring them home and you're going to put them up against your house. I'm going to show you on my own brick with my own paint cards how it looks and how simple it is to really figure out what colors are going to work best in your flower beds that are bordering your house. You don't have to be a landscape architect or designer or anything like that. All you got to do is have some big enough swatches of color to put up against your house to really see what is going to work. So let's go check it out. All right, guys, welcome to the side of my house. Okay, so let me show you what I'm talking about. So I love these kind of colors, and they just don't look good in front of my brick. But when I get into a warmer toned pink, that one's kind of in between. Like these, ooh, let me find it for you. Peaches look so good. Any kind of orange and red look great with yellow. I can actually do a cool toned yellow or a warm tone. And then I blend in, there's some peaches. I blend in some whites. White looks fabulous here. I can get away with all shades of red, but the orangey coral colors are more my favorite. And then for accent, I will do some blue. I have some hydrangeas like this color, only in a couple spots, but my chinoiserie is this color and it actually looks great as well. And I'll tell you what, the home I grew up in, where I learned to garden with my mom, we had, it was called Chicago used brick, a really beautiful color, props, if you know what that is. My daddy was a bricklayer, so we know a lot about brick in my family, but it was like muted tones of gray and cool tones of pink, even very light pink, some muted blacks and creams and grays, and just really beautiful. And you could plant these colors, looked fabulous in front of it. And I like these colors anyway. And I wondered why, when I got here to this property and I was designing these flower beds, they just didn't look right. And that was why, because this is a warm toned brick. So doing this, getting these little paint cards, it makes all the difference. It's so easy. It's actually pretty fun. And it just makes landscaping so much easier for you, and it ups the curb appeal so much. So I'm going to go over some different combinations of colors for different color homes, and we're going to head up to the front porch and do that. And I think it's going to help you out. So let's go. All right, guys. So we're just going to go over really quick some general house colors and what really works in front of those colored houses. So when I was working on these flower beds, I was looking for that information, and I really couldn't find it. It was pretty tough to come up with. But if you have a neutral colored house, so beige or green, in general, you can get away with lots of different colors, but a classic color scheme works really well, like violet blue, soft rosy red, lavender yellow plantings, that kind of stuff. You don't want to do too many bold colors if you have a neutral colored house. If you have a white house, you're going to obviously want to avoid a lot of white because it's not going to show up, for one thing, and you want to add some other color in there. So a lot of pastel colors like pastel pink, pastel blue, pastel purple looks really great and softens a white house. You don't want to do a lot of bold colors. They're not going to usually look great. You could do some red here or there, but in general, silvers, blues, and those pastels are really going to make a white house look fresh and beautiful. For yellow, a yellow color home, almost any color works. So if you have a yellow house, congratulations. You can use pinks, you can use even a golden yellow, cream, variegated colors, like variegated foliage. Variegated foliage actually looks really great in front of a lot of color homes. Maybe not white so much, but anything dark. It really shows up the white and green kind of variegation. Yellow, we already did yellow. For a brick red house like mine, if it's a warm brick especially, it's really going to clash with those lavender pink colors. So I kind of want to avoid that. You want to go with oranges, yellows, peaches, creams, white's going to look good. And then you can do some of the blue and a little bit of burgundy for contrast. And then if you have a brown colored house, you're going to work with soft colors in general because that's going to kind of soften your house a little bit. Pinks and yellows and pale pinks, deep yellows, burgundy, purples and reds aren't going to show up so much if you've got a brown house. And if you have a blue house, lots of the purples go really well with a blue house. Obviously yellow and soft orange and golds, because they're going to be the opposite color on the color wheel, opposite colors on the color wheel, and they're going to look really good in front of a blue house. And then silver accents with like foliage that's silver would be really nice. Burgundy is going to be a color that you might run into trouble with if you have a blue house. But in general, there are just some little design tips, but I'm telling you, if you go and get those paint swatches, or you can order a color wheel and do it that way, you can really see the colors that really are going to make your house look fabulous and really up the curb appeal and make you happier as a gardener and save you money. So I'm telling you, this year, get that done before you pick out your new flowers for your garden, and you're going to thank me, I think. I hope so. Anyway, if you like this video, please hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up, and we will see you right back here next time at the Real Southern Garden. Bye.